goes like that. Yes, yes, that's better. And this one over here. Oh. Howdy. I'm actually filming what was meant to be the rest of the footage that I filmed 4 months ago, because I had originally filmed this video 4 months ago with the intention of waiting for an extra Blu-ray, an extra DVD, and a pop vinyl to come in the mail. And then I was going to edit it and release it. But I seem to have lost that footage, so good job me. Now I'm restarting. So hello everyone and welcome to Telecreations. In this video I'm going to be looking at my Godzilla collection, including variations of physical media, accessories including clothing, and figurines. Let's get started. So of course, from the get-go, we do have the Showa Era films, the Godzilla, the Criterion version. I've shown this off on my channel before. If you don't know what it is, it features like 14 films. I always get that number wrong. It's 15 films. It has a little slip. It's got mega art pieces. But it features all the original Godzilla films from Godzilla to Terror of Mechagodzilla. So that spans from 1954 through to 1975. They're all Region B because this is the British version. But it also contains essays on every single film with all unique artwork, including Godzilla vs. King Kong vs. Godzilla, both the American and the Japanese versions. I believe the American version is the main disc, but the Japanese version is on a special features disc, which is really weird. You'd think they would have combined them into one disc, but they didn't. I've watched the Japanese version. I haven't seen the American version yet. You've got Mothra vs. Godzilla, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Shut up, phone. Invasion of the Astro Monster. Love the artwork here. I've also just realized that you might not see it too much from glare, so I'll just kind of try to skim through it a bit, but for the most part, you know, just some nice art pieces till you get to the middle of the book, where you open it up and you have all your discs. So it is the same artwork from the very front page, but it just has all the discs here. And that's the Godzilla Showa Era. But there's more. Alright. I guess I'll just stick with the DVDs and the Blu-rays and the physical media for now. So we have... I had to hunt these all down individually from JB Hi-Fi a few years back. Despite the fact that I already had... I know, because when I grew up with having, I think it was Destroy All Monsters on DVD. That was the first ever Godzilla film I ever watched, and obviously I had no context as to what the hell was going on. But there was, you know, the Monster Island, all the different monsters. I think it had aliens trying to attack Earth and splitting up the monsters and stuff, but then Godzilla ended up defeating them all. I don't know, I can't really remember what happens in that film. I haven't watched it for a very long time. Anyway, I have the Showa Classics on DVD. Shut up, phone. I have the Showa Classics on DVD. This is Volume 1, which features 6 films from Godzilla to Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. That must have been the one that I watched. I'm pretty sure it was. And then we've got the Showa Era Classics Volume 2, which has All Monsters Attack through to Terror of Mechagodzilla. So this is 12 films. So that big Criterion one. Gotta figure out which one the Criterion one doesn't have. This one has Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, which this one doesn't. This one has this one has King Kong vs. Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again. So this pack isn't actually complete. It lacks 3 films. Despite the fact that Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, I'm pretty sure that is still a Godzilla film. I'm pretty certain it is, because it's like they introduced it as a villain on his own, but still had Godzilla there to fight him, and then they introduced him more into standalone Godzilla films, like Destroy All Monsters and whatever. See, it's convenient buying as many versions as you can, because not all the versions that you get, even in these collection sets, have all of the actual films. For example, I bought this one as well, the Heisei films. Heisei, I don't know how you pronounce it exactly. But it only contains 5 films, from Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah all the way to Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Now you might be thinking, geez, that really lacks a few films, doesn't it? And yes, it does. It lacks one of the best Godzilla films, Godzilla vs. Biollante, which I had to buy separately on DVD, which is actually the US version, I believe. Yes. So, because it was either $40 for this or $300 for the Blu-ray. So I went with this version. I did buy 84 on Blu-ray, so I'll shut it off in a second. But lastly, I have the Millennium series, which I believe is all of the Millennium series, from Godzilla 2000 through to Final Wars. So, yeah. Godzilla 2000 vs. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, which I think was one of my favorite films. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 3. Godzilla Tokyo SOS, and Godzilla Final Wars. Wonderful stuff. So yes, I don't know what happened to that Godzilla vs. Destroy All Monsters DVD I used to have. I don't know. I think maybe I threw it out or something once I bought these sets. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. I already have it on DVD, so, you know. Then we jump into the Blu-ray shelf, starting with Godzilla 1984, otherwise known as Return of Godzilla, the start of the Heisei series. I'm yet to watch this one. I actually haven't even watched Biollante yet. I've been waiting for this to arrive, and it just came here a few days ago, so yes. I know it doesn't look superb on Blu-ray, but I couldn't get it any other way, and it was like $25 from Amazon, so I figured that's good enough for me. Then on 4K UHD, I have Godzilla from 1998. I know. I used to love this film as a kid, to be honest. Like, come on, I watched this and Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, and I watched Godzilla Destroy All Monsters first. And Zilla 98 it came out the year I was born, so, you know. Then I have a trilogy of steelbooks, ranging throughout the Monsterverse, from Godzilla in 4K, nice steelbook. Godzilla King of the Monsters in 4K, also a nice steelbook. Not such a superb film, I don't think. The Godzilla 2014 one, absolute banger. And Godzilla vs. Kong, which I really like as well. So, for me, the lackluster one is Godzilla King of the Monsters. In this current trilogy, I do have, you know, the Kong Skull Island as well, and a lot more of those King Kong films, but today we're talking about Godzilla, so, you know, I'm not going to mention those ones, mostly because I just don't need to. I also have spare versions of Godzilla on Blu-ray, because it came out on Blu-ray well before it came out in 4K, and I believe I got it for free anyway. I'd watched the film on Foxtel, and I didn't like it that much, and then I rewatched it when I bought the Blu-ray, and I started to really like it a lot more, and every time since then I started to really, really like it. I also have the Godzilla vs. King of the Monsters on 4K separately. I just really want that steelbook, so, you know. Silly me, I haven't actually put this in the Godzilla section yet. I've put it under Shin Godzilla, but this is Shin Godzilla, probably my favorite Godzilla film. The only one I've shown my girlfriend as to current date, but I absolutely adore this film. It's absolutely beautiful and horrifying, and probably the best Godzilla film I think that's been made. I'm still yet to watch Biollante, which I've heard is comparable as the best one, because this is like a remake of 1984, so, from what I've heard, so, yes. There's that. Anyway. An additional feature for this video, that I'm filming months later, Godzilla vs. Kong, the Manta Lab. I got this recently. There will be a full video breakdown on my channel, because I figure this video is long enough, but it does feature a steelbook and a booklet and a bunch of art cards and all that kind of stuff. So, go check out that video, and continue with this one as well. There'll be a link in the description eventually, I guess. So yes, in terms of merchandise, this is my first piece of merchandise that I will show off. I bought this in Japan. I have no idea where. I think I bought it at the Toho cinemas. I think. I don't know. I can't remember where exactly I bought this one, but I bought this other one. I bought this one in Japan as well. This was actually my first day in Japan. There was a little stand in Tokyo, and I bought this because it was really cool. It's the original Godzilla poster, which is really frickin' nice. It's a good material. It's thick, so I can only really wear it during the winter time, but or cold autumn or spring days. But yeah. It's a good t-shirt. I don't wear this one as much. I always forget that I have this one because it gets buried down in my closet. But it is what it is. Additionally, I had completely forgotten about this because it had just been through the wash. I do have a Godzilla t-shirt from Uniqlo, which is literally just a frame from the original Godzilla with the Godzilla logo on the sleeve. Yes, I do like it. It's simple. It's Uniqlo, Next up, for my birthday, was it last year or the year before? It must have been the year before, back in 2020. I had gotten this. It may have been 2019 that I got this, because I actually saw this film at the Toho cinemas in Japan when it had come out. And it had Japanese subtitles on the screen, because we watched the English dub, obviously. There was a Japanese dub, but we didn't watch that one. But yeah, so this is the art and making of. In all honesty, I don't think the film is fantastic. I've watched it like 3 times now. I loved it on my first watch just because it's like, look, it's just cool, big monsters, but it always had the edge of, it's too much CGI monsters. They don't feel like, men in plastic suits. I kind of just appeal to that more. Nevertheless, there's this. It's a very big book. A lot of these exist. This is I think it's Titan Books. Fitting name for the brand. But yeah, this goes into a whole bunch of details of artwork and behind the scenes stuff. I believe it goes into characters as well, but I won't delve too much into it. It's a big book. It's hard to delve into it too much. Next up, I have this, which I also bought in Japan. They had these books for a lot of films, but because, of course, it just looked really nice, but you couldn't look into it, so I couldn't tell if it was all in Japanese or not. And, of course, outside of the... It's got like an open fold-out poster. We've got like the 4 plaques. You got Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, Rodan, and Mothra, and they open up to have kind of character posters. I know there's a lot of glare. I apologize for that, but some really cinematic-looking character posters for each of the characters, which is really cool. Because I did have these posters separately, and I think I have 1 or 2 of them. I don't know where they are. But yeah, this is all in Japanese. It tells you what the story of the film is. It tells you, you got behind the scenes of the characters. Then you got stuff with the, you got all these characters. So many of them don't even show up in the next film. It's great. You got screenshots from the film. You got a biography on the director. It's a whole bunch of really cool stuff, but it's obviously all in Japanese. So there's a lot of images though, which is it's nice. It's a cool thing just to own in terms of like look at that color palette. It's a cool thing just to own in terms of having memorabilia from a film. They also have playback where it tells you what happens in the Godzilla 2014 film, just in case you missed that. Tells you about the history of Godzilla. I think in regards to Godzilla himself, I don't even know, because it does have a whole bunch of adverts for the Blu-rays, because it has all of Japan has like all of the Godzilla films on Blu-ray, whereas they won't release in Blu-ray hardly ever outside of Australia. And yeah, then you've got some ads for some Godzilla merchandise, including Shin Godzilla, and one of those little boxes where you put the coin in, and Godzilla will come out and eat it and everything. It's got some cute stuff. You got all the movies there on Blu-ray, which is incredible. The amount of movies that they have. I don't think it's every single movie, but it's a hell of a lot of them. And yeah. And then back to the posters for the characters. Anyway, my last book in general, before we go into figurines, is this, which is the last thing I bought when I was in Japan. I wasn't the last thing I bought, but I bought it with the Godzilla King of the Monsters book, and the t-shirt. I think it might have been this t-shirt. I still can't remember where I bought this t-shirt from. Anyway, Maybe this wasn't from Japan. I'll be honest, I have no idea. There you go. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it was, because I'm pretty sure I had 2 Godzilla t-shirts while I was in Japan, so... Anyway. There's this comic. And unfortunately, last time I filmed this video, I was actually able to do a big breakdown of the comic, because I figured out who had written it, what it was actually called, and all this kind of stuff, because there is a American version of it. Because it's actually done by American, or, English writers. And it's been translated into Japanese. Problem is, there's an autograph on this one. Now, the autograph isn't anything spectacular. It does have a slip, which is cool. This was the only one that they had there. It's like a Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla one. It's nicely animated. Got some nice artwork to it, but it's all in Japanese as well. But, most comics you can just look through the panels and get an idea of what's happening. Look, then you've even got a color me in page, I guess, and some big posters on the inside. It's got a lot of good stuff inside it, really nice artwork. But yeah, so the first page of it, outside of that, is this page that has this detail. And I believe it's mostly just a location. It's from 2017, but from what I remember my cousin saying, because my cousin speaks Japanese and he lives in Japan, he was able to translate most of it for me. He couldn't exactly tell what the signature was. I think it was someone's name. It may have been one of the writers, but it's in Japanese, so it's kind of hard to say. But it was a address. It was a date and location. And it was saying it was at a festival of some kind, like a writers' festival or something, that they had this at. It was they had a booth where they were selling these before they were, sold to major stores and whatever. So, yeah. Oh God, I do have it. Okay, so from what it says is that it's from Wonder Festival from the 30th of the 7th, 2017. He couldn't translate what the signature was, but it did say Wonder Festival, which, from what I remember, is here, the 30th of the 7th, 2017. So you got the date there, and then it says Wonder Festival going down. So, yeah, again, went to a festival before it actually, but I don't know who signed it, though. I have no fucking idea who signed it. Yeah, because I literally bought it off a shelf at the Toho Cinema, so they'd wrapped it in a plastic again afterwards, just kind of a plastic bag, I guess. I think. I may have just picked it up and breezed through it and was like, I'm going to buy this because it's a Godzilla comic. So yeah, it may have been exclusive to the Wonder Festival, and because it didn't sell a lot there, or they didn't sell out, they moved it to the Toho Cinema and other locations to sell it. But no, that was a surprise, because I had opened it up, and obviously, if you had have seen the original video I'd filmed all those months ago, I even opened it up and was like, wait, what the hell, this has an autograph in it? I had no idea. I'd never even opened it up to the first page. I just skimmed through other pages to see if it was in English, and obviously it wasn't. So I just looked at the artwork, which was nice. It's just a nice collectible for me, I guess. On to my collectibles. So, as a last but not least, or as a small inclusion, I actually have two more figurines for Godzilla. This one, which this is the box for it, is from Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. That's the theatrical poster, I believe. And that's, of course, what the dude looks like. I'll show you his out-of-box figure in a second, because, of course, I have taken him out of box. And as a 23rd birthday gift from my partner, I got Godzilla vs. Biollante as a figurine. And this guy's even bigger. Really nice overall set. There are a few other versions. I got these ones in particular with these particular box designs, just because they're so much easier to get out rather than the clamshell ones, and I prefer the big art pieces. I like it. So, of course, the I think it's GMA, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. I think that's what people nickname it. This is the Godzilla figure for that, with the atomic breath that does come in and out of its mouth. I don't really want to take it out, but yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of great videos online if you want to check out like more in detail stuff. He's a cool dude. He's quite weighty, but he does have, you know, as if he's blowing that classic atomic breath. There is a version of him without the blue glow, and I don't think he comes with the atomic breath, but I think this version of it just really, really works for me. Good mantelpiece item, I think. And this, on the other hand, I will, of course, compare and contrast. Whilst one is taller, the other is clearly longer by a lot. So this is the big boy. He does come with an atomic breath, which just shoots down like a laser. I've got it still in box because he doesn't really look great with it, I don't think. And given how I already have one that has such a fantastic atomic breath, I figure this big boy can stand on his own. His tail is just marvelous. It is such a long creature that honestly, as a Godzilla fan, this guy is my favorite figurine, and I love collecting opposable, I believe they're called, figurines. I got a whole range behind the camera, which you can check out in my like Mezco horror collection figurines. So I do like myself a Godzilla. I'm not fond of all the, oh look, you can clearly see it's just a figurine of all these moving parts, but I'm like, yeah, but as a beast as this guy is, he's totally freaking worth it, and he's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, just a cute little addition, and the last edition until my Funko Sodas arrive, which won't be for another month or so. So this video will be up by then. Anyway, yeah, I love him. He's great. He's my favorite figurine now. In terms of figurines, I have a whole range, including these three, which are the mystery minis. This is meant to be the green-skinned Godzilla. This is the flaming Godzilla, which is more obvious that it's on fire, if I'll be honest. And this is the mystery one, because it's a mystery one. There's usually either a black version of this, where its skin is black, but it still has the flames on it, or the grey Godzilla, which is like the classic original Godzilla. Really nice designs. And then upwards on the shelf, we've got these ones. I've got myself the flaming Godzilla pop vinyl, and the black and white Godzilla pop vinyl. I'm yet to take either out of their boxes. They've actually still got their tape on because they're practically mint. Only the grey one has some dirt on the top and base of the box. Then we move that over here. I do have some out-of-box pulp vinyls. I've got the Mecha Godzilla and the whole Godzilla vs. Kong range, including the flocked Kong and the Godzilla Kong 2-pack. This one does glow in the dark. It's the pop culture exclusive. Over here on my bed, I have the Godzilla figure that I got back when I was in Japan. I wanted to get an official Godzilla figure from Japan when I arrived there. And we actually got this at the Toho Museum, which is really cool. It's just a basic version of the original design. But yeah, he's cool. Sorry about the focus, but yeah. He's just regular plastic. His arms and legs and tail do move, but I usually just keep him placed on the bed head, just there. We've got two different varieties here. My recent Atomic Breath Godzilla from, again, Godzilla vs. Kong, where you can take out the breath, much like the Mecha Godzilla. He all glows in the dark as well, which I'll be showing footage of that soon as well. But they've got some really nice designs for it. And I have the three of the original pop vinyls as well. Yes, the most expensive of them all. The glow-in-the-dark Ghost Godzilla, the New York Comic Con exclusive. I have all of their boxes back behind me up on the shelves, but I do like to display them, and given I got at least three, which had already been taken out of their boxes. Actually, this one hadn't been. I'm pretty sure it was still mint, but I've always wanted to take it out of its box. But this was my first ever Godzilla pop vinyl. It's basically the opposite of that, where its eyes and spine and nails and teeth glow. This one's skin glows, but its eyes and spine and all that don't glow. So it's literally the polar opposite. If you've seen any of these figurines before, so he has some nice translucent fins and a grey skin. I don't have the green-skinned Godzilla because I don't like the look of it. If I were to get it cheap enough, I totally would. But cheap would be like $30. Which is pretty much what I got the Flaming Godzilla for. This is known as the, technically it's the 2000 Godzilla, I think it is, with the white eyes and everything, but it technically isn't because it's got purple in its mouth, as you can see, and a purple spine, which some fans have criticized as, not authentic to any of the previous characters, which I guess is technically a fair criticism. And yes, he does not glow in the dark. This one, of course, does. This one's pretty simple in terms of what you're looking at. It's all pale-skinned, blue eyes. I know a lot of people would criticize me taking these out of their boxes because, they're so rare and whatever, but it's like, dude, they're mine. I can do whatever the hell I want with them. But yes, there's a nice shiny metallic on the thin dorsals, whatever you call them. But yeah, I'll show off the glow-in-the-dark footage now. I have a really good UV torch that shines really nicely on them. But yeah, for the most part, I absolutely adore these pop vinyls. I definitely like the new Godzilla vs. Kong range. It's a good range in terms of how they're all 4-inch pops. A lot of people were disappointed that they weren't 6-inch like the original Godzilla pops, but it is what it is. I do hope one day to actually get more Godzilla figures, like more, accurate to the film, which is not too difficult. There's one that I've been eyeing for a while, but I have to wait till lockdown and hope to God that I can meet up with the guy in the city, so that's probably not going to happen this year at all. Maybe next year. I don't really know. Anyway, if we go over here, behind my calendar, I have a Shin Godzilla figure. Hard to get a good look at it. I bought this one in Japan at the Toho cinemas as well. It's the only Shin Godzilla version I have. Not the best design, but it was cool. And that's it. That's all my stuff. So yeah, I've got a range of the Godzilla films. I believe I have all of them. I don't exactly know. I know there's like animated Netflix films and shit like that I don't have, but in terms of live action stuff, I'm pretty sure I have it all in physical print. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with what I got. The 2 Godzilla King of the Monsters books, the Showa Era stuff, even the comic book. It's quite a variety of stuff, and I haven't seen all of the films, but I still absolutely adore the Godzilla films. It's just fun to watch them every now and again. I want to get more into the Heisei series because I've watched all the Millennium ones. I've watched a bunch of the Showa Era ones, the Heisei, I don't know how to pronounce it. I haven't finished those yet. I've still only just watched the one because I watched Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, and that's the time travel one, which is fucking insane. So it's one I'd known about since like high school because my friend Bryn had told me about it, and I was just like, this sounds insane, I have to watch this. And I had it on DVD the whole fucking time. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time on Telecreations. And stay tuned for that Godzilla vs. Kong premium coming soon to a Telecreations video near you in the future. I don't know when. Bye. Have a nice time.